Okay, let's have a go. So if you have a look at a vision for what we would like instead, this is often a good way to solve a big problem like this. So if I ask people about their vision for society, there's a general agreement. It's generally much the same kind of things that people come up with. Spiritual happiness, relationships, trees, beauty, sustainable technology, creativity, more gardens, less roads. General agreement? Yeah. Okay, so the trouble is money and environmental, social things tend to conflict to some extent. So can we find a way to feed one with the other? So what we're looking for is something to do with business that actually naturally supports all of these social, environmental visions that we have. So cooperatives actually have existed for several hundred years, and they do these things very naturally. So the first question, obvious question is, co-ops, what are they? So they're democratically owned, controlled, and benefiting, which means that you, as a worker or a customer of a cooperative, actually have a share in that cooperative, and that you have control. The voting is done one member, one vote, not one share, one vote, which means you can't buy votes. So the control remains in the hands of the people, not in the hands of the people. And democratically benefiting, we're actually looking at benefiting ourselves. So it's not a not-for-profit association which is about helping the world out there. It's about, yeah, we're helping something, but we're also about supporting ourselves. So it's something that has some elements of the for-profit business and some elements of the not-for-profit business. So this is what a company looks like. You've got your shareholders board. It's very one-directional power structure. This is what a cooperative looks like. Same pattern, but the bottom is also the top. The members are also controlling who the directors are. So this means that there is a community that's created by this circular system. Please note that I'm not talking about collectives where everybody has to vote on every decision. That is quite popular in some of the hippie circles. Co-ops can be run in a really professional manner, the same as other companies, and in fact I really recommend that they are done that way, because it's a much more efficient, fast, effective way to run things. But those directors and management have to be responsive to their members. They can't do things that are unpopular because they are voted in by those members. So you get a lot of co-ops who never have any issues with being voted out, but they're always conscious that we have to make sure that we're serving our members. So different kinds of co-ops. We have the food co-ops. They're called a consumer co-op. They're owned by people who are buying. So each member who shops at that co-op is a owner of that cooperative. Then we have IGA, which is, IGA is an ordinary supermarket owned by, just as supermarkets are, by individual business or company or whatever. But the group of businesses coordinate together and they buy together. And so IGA as a supermarket is a member of a larger cooperative structure. And similarly we have the Carnarvon Banana Cooperative. They've got a whole series of farms that all brought together a management marketing system. They almost run out of business as a town, and this cooperative saved them. So this is called a producer co-op, and that's particularly interesting to people in the room because you don't have to give up on your own personal businesses. You can just also have your personal businesses under the umbrella of something larger that is supporting that cooperative. The other kind that we've seen is co-ops that are about worker co-ops, so they're actually owned by their employees. There's only one in Western Australia, it's very rare. There's only 100 co-ops in the whole of Western Australia, which is our problem. They have a lot of benefits. there's a natural purpose. There's a natural sense of environmentalism because your local community tends to be interested in its local environment. They tend to be localized because the system just naturally has a local community runs itself rather than wanting to take over the world. Employment, they're much more stable employment than other businesses because people would vote themselves out of the job. It's not common. They're really resilient. The commonly quoted statistic is that 10% of startups last 5 years. 90% of co-ops last the first 5 years. So why don't people start co-ops? Why do we have 100 co-ops in Western Australia and not 10,000 or 100,000 like we have the other kinds of businesses? So the first problem with that is who starts a co-op? The person who starts a business, they have a brilliant idea, they want to start their business. To start a co-op, you go into a community and you talk to all of the different people and you help them to start something. It takes a very different attitude. So who's going to do that? We're going to have to do that. That was our first conclusion. Now this was actually something I didn't realise until I started writing this presentation. It's been amazingly effective for me to figure out what we're doing. As soon as I ask these questions, the next day I get the answer. So even if you give me no good feedback, I'm ready to do it. So yeah, we have to do this. Next problem is people are scared of conflicts in communities because they don't have the hierarchical structure. You need a facilitator to be able to sort out conflicts. In my projects, we rarely get any conflicts whatsoever, but that's because I'm constantly in there noticing conflicts before they become apparent, resolving them. So I need people to be able to come in and resolve those things. So we need to provide facilitation and mediation support for groups that are cooperatives. Next problem is finance. Co-ops have terrible trouble finding finance. We've got a galactic cooperative in Western Australia at the moment who's looking for a $500,000 loan and they can't get it. And they can fill in all the boxes. It's a really safe loan. Nobody will give them a loan just because they've never heard of a cooperative. So difficult. So we're going to have to provide a loan scheme, and we're working on partnering with some kind of credit union or large organisations to provide a loan scheme for the co-ops. The other thing is that it's scary because you don't know anything about it, and we have to give people a taste. And so we're working on starting things, auspicing things, so that they can be within our organisation. You don't actually have to launch a whole cooperative organisation yourself. You can try it out. If it works, you can move it on to be a cooperative organisation. If it doesn't, you can leave. That's fine. So that's another service that we're working on. We're doing a little bit of that one already. The next one is the roadmap. We need to be able to show people how to do it because there's not enough training out there, not enough understanding of. So the big next question is how do we monetize this? And on one level this is not difficult. We could do any of these things, but the question is which do we want to do? And there's some of them that I really dislike. So I can see that grants could be really effective, but I hate grants. Donations, I can see, I know ways of getting really big donations for this kind of stuff. Again, I would need a whole team focusing on that. Do I have enough energy to do that? Can I be bothered? Not sure. Profit share is a good possibility because if we're starting business projects, then they should be willing to give us some kind of share of their profits, which ties into membership fees for those cooperatives. That could be a way of organising a profit share, some kind of membership fee. Not sure exactly. If we get that loan scheme up, then playing with large sums of money can give us some monetization possibilities. And the last one that I'm quite interested in is doing some other business that's related on the side. So if we actually did education and training and some kind of coaching support that we were being paid for on the side. Or just start one of these co-ops that is really focused on making a lot of money and sharing it with us. So that's it. Tell me what you think.
Good idea.
I like the way you were able to identify where the challenges are. You picked up on things that must be going through all of our heads, like the lady jumping off the cliff. And not knowing how to manage conflict is generally one that comes up for me quite often.
Yeah, I think one of the dangers with this is the old kind of idea that a camel is a horse made by committee, and that when you get too many voices involved in the decision-making process, it warps the decision-making process.
Absolutely. And so it's really important that good leadership, that's something I didn't talk about very much, but the next step that comes out of this is really high quality leadership is necessary for this to really succeed. And so leadership training becomes one of our possible for-profit ventures actually, to focus on training good leaders which are going to be able to support this.
I think that out of the monetisation things as well, the profit share seems to make the most sense because you're almost like an incubator for...
Yeah, it does seem to make sense to Chesson.
Yeah, you mentioned it being a profit and non-profit.
It's a not-for-profit cooperative.
Yeah.
So not-for-profit means you're not allowed to share dividends.
Yes.
So it means the profits of the company can't be shared with the shareholders.
Yes.
It's still allowed to pay people and people are going to get paid for it. Yeah.
And then you mentioned at the end of the education where you can make money as well. So is there like a way that somebody can see the transparency in how the money that is earned and the other side, how they work together?
Every year you have to do a presentation to the annual general meeting of exactly what we've done with the funds.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And so it's if people want more than that, of course we can provide more than that, but that's the general way that it's done.
I was getting mentioned about monetization, that profit share membership makes the most sense. Yeah. Interest on loans, you're only going to make interest if you're providing money, if you have a huge pool of capital. So, and perhaps you could structure it so that there is a base fee, and then also on top of that, possibly or not possibly, have a profit share on top of that. So that way, you know, you're getting paid and you're not putting on risk that when it's working, like anything back.
Yeah, I suppose you could do brokerage if you developed a relationship with some banks and you had that reputation of being the co-op incubator in a way, then you might be able to get a brokerage fee ongoing if you provide loans, well, source loans for these co-ops.
With the loans, what I'm actually considering is a revolving loan scheme, which is something that's done in community development in Africa and stuff. Generally with very small sums of money, but doing it with larger sums. So basically you get, say if all of us in the room every month put in $100, then we've suddenly got $1,000 every month in the account. And wouldn't that be useful to loan to start one of our businesses? And then we all choose who's going to get the loan first, and then they help them to make sure they succeed and pay it back, and then give the loan to someone else. So doing that but at $1,000 a month each for a cooperative, meaning that they have sums of $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to lend to each other, and possibly taking some cut out of that for our own payment is what I was thinking of. Depends on having enough organisations that are big enough and want to do it.
How does the profit flow in cooperative? So say that a cooperative runs its year's business, it comes up with a £100 profit.
So we're a not-for-profit.
Yes.
So for us, we operate the same as an association, and you can pay people, but for their work as employees or as contractors. But we don't share profits. Any profits are going to go straight back into the business. But if you're a for-profit, then there are different ways that it can be shared. So you have the profits and you have shareholders, which is often a lot of people, and you can declare what proportion of profits you're going to give according to how many shares people have. You can also declare what proportion of profit are we going to give according to how much business somebody's done. So you've created most of our business. You've done like thousands of dollars worth of work with us. We're going to give extra profits to you. You can also give, is there another one?
Bonuses.
Money. So this is the different, so there's different ways, and you can basically you're fairly flexible in terms of how you can choose to give profits. Another one is a rebate, so that people have spent money with the co-op, they get a discount back from what they've spent.
So I think, like, from my perspective, like, I know if I wanted to start a business, I'm putting in a huge amount of time, a huge amount of risk, reputation on the line.
That's right.
Like, I want the profits all to come back to me.
Absolutely.
Like, it's this thing that I've
And
bring in
so that's why this concept of having the producer co-ops where you can own your own business, but you can get the benefits of being in a co-op by having a larger cooperative structure around you rather than having your own business owned in that way. It is possible to make all kinds of agreements about how you share money and make sure that somebody is rewarded, but it's much more tricky than it is in another body. Yeah.
So would that then be that profit businesses within a co-op be businesses with a, what would be the benefit of the businesses being there? Is it that they're
Okay, let me tell you the story of the Carnarvon banana peel.
So I just want to, so would that be all businesses with a similar avatar, or businesses with a similar, that are doing similar work, like restaurants?
Yeah, so they have to have a similar need. So it can be that we all need marketing, it can be that we all need loans, it can be that we all grow the same thing and we need to market in the same way. There has to be some kind of similarity. If you've got things that are really, really different, then you're going to get something like Startup Huddle, where we talk a bit, but we don't actually do much practical work together because it's too different. But if you have things that are really similar, then you have much more similarity. So the Banana Growing Cooperative, they had a whole series of farms. They're all growing bananas. They're all in the same town. They all know each other. Naturally, they say, "What can we do together?" Yeah, you get a lot of co-ops in farming towns for this reason, that they know each other and that they're doing similar things. So they were going out of business because the bananas were too small. They actually tasted better than the other bananas, but they were small and therefore they didn't look as good and weren't selling as well. And so they created this marketing group, and the marketing group said, "Lunchbox bananas, they fit inside your lunchbox." Saved the town. Yeah. And they did a few other things after that as well. They sold their seconds as smoothie bananas, and then they sold their thirds as banana cake.
So those businesses within that co-op have a similar pain point, and that pain point, various pain points are being solved by the collective.
And so each farmer has their own business and is not being asked to give up on their own business. They're just contributing some of their money towards a marketing group.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah,
Actually, they're sharing the marketing cost.
that's right.
Could definitely do with that.
They also
It's
share insurance costs as well. They have their own insurance company because they found the insurance companies don't like to pay them. So don't like to pay out, so they made their own insurance company that actually likes to pay them out.
Wow, so it is a niche.
I can see your project is huge, can be so big, unbelievable. Because most of the time, what we do, we're focusing on the money. And I asked my son, "Do you want a $10 million or you want a 10 million people?" He said $10 million. But these 10 million people can create
much more than that.
billions. So to have I don't want to say owning the community, but to have the community, it's much more powerful than having money.
Yes.
But what you have problem is the money. Because the banks or investors or anybody else, they can't see the people money, they see money.
Well, it's only familiarity.
Yeah.
The Grameen Bank gives funding to tiny, tiny little people who could not put any capital up, and no other bank will touch them. The Grameen Bank has the least default rate of any bank in the world. So it's not that it doesn't work, it's just that it's new and people are not familiar with it. So I'm sure that we will get to a point.
In the same way that the cooperatives are creating their own insurance companies, they
That's
create their
right.
own banks.
That's right, and so we need to do a little bit of that. In terms of the issue of wanting to get paid, wanting to get the profits for yourself, this is a big issue for us, and it's really, I think, one of the main issues for why co-ops are not being started. And essentially, it's the kind of attitude that's needed to start a co-op is completely different to the kind of attitude that's needed to start conventional business. The kind of attitude that's needed to start a co-op is really selfless. It's really like, I want to do something for this community, I care about this community, I want to help. And the kind of thing that's doing for starting your own business is, I've got this cool idea, it's about what I can do. You know, it's a really different thing. And so one other thing that we're working on is how can we firstly encourage more people to step up into that concept of I'm doing something for the world, I'm doing something to serve others, and being a little bit more selfless about it, which means a lot of personal development. And the other is simply to empower some of the people who are already there. So there's a whole lot of people, my friends, who are totally want to do this stuff and have no idea how to do it. And so we have some leaders in potential who can do this stuff, but they've never run a business. They don't know how to run large organisations, and so we need the other side of it, the support of the people who do understand business to help them. There's a kind of like bringing together completely different worlds.
I think particularly in Perth there's a large contingent of people that are sort of starting social enterprises and for-profit, for-purpose enterprises that, you know, I spoke to Tyler Spooner who started, it's now called Uno Car, but it was called Feed Me for quite a while recently, and the thing that he says is, or the thing that we got to in part of the conversation that we had was that I'm in love with solving the problem, I'm not in love with my solution.
Absolutely. And so people like that, really natural connection for us. Another thing before you want to finish?
Yeah, we need to wrap up.
One more thing before we finish. The argument for why you do a co-op and you don't get paid as much is the definition of wealth. If you define your wealth as the amount of money that you're going to get paid, then you don't start a co-op. But if you define wealth as your purchasing capacity, the ability to buy the things you want in your life, sometimes what you want in your life is to have a more happy environment that you're working in, to have community around you, to have all of these beautiful things that a cooperative environment can give you. And then you see that there's more wealth in being involved in a cooperative than there is in having lots of money. Personally, I think I went recently to a wealth creation teacher who's one of the richest business consultants in the world. And I looked at him and went, I'm richer than you are. Because the happiness wasn't there. And this kind of lifestyle of living in community is so wealthy in a very different way. So it takes this shift of what do we believe as wealth in order to take on this direction.
I heard a quote recently that being rich means having a lot of money, being wealthy means having a lot of time. I think that's really important aspect. Yeah. All right, well thank you very much for the awesome questions, but also for the presentations from both of you, really stimulating.